So today we're working with some mud, Sheetrock mud. And this is, you can buy it in the box, you can buy it in the bucket, you can buy it small, you can buy it larger. We're working on a couple of different projects, so we went with the larger. And this bag, when you open it up, basically this is just sealed, twisted and sealed, nothing fancy. So when you're done with it, when you take some out, this is something that you basically just push the air out and wrap it up and seal it. But one of the most common mistakes that people make when they're doing mudding is, and I'm just going to kind of show you how we do this. I've got my knife, put some in my pan. When you're doing mud work, now let's just seal this up. First off, if you're not sealing this up and keeping the mud in the bag nicely, it's going to dry out and become crusty and have problems. If it's crusty, get rid of it. But if it's good to go, this will stay like that for quite a while. But once we got our mud in here, you may look at that and say, wow, that's actually pretty, maybe smooth enough and that we should be good to go. The big problem, and this is a big mistake that a lot of novice mud sheetrock people do, homeowners do, is when they're first doing this, is they're not thinning this down enough. They're looking at that and say, well, it kind of spreads like peanut butter, and that's what I read online. And yeah, no. You wanted to add some water to it. Now, we're going to add just a little bit, because a little bit kind of goes a long way. And then you're going to, now I'm using a pan. When I'm doing larger projects, I'm going to be using a mud board. But for this demonstration, I want to do it this way. So we're just going to kind of mix it a little bit. Now you can go and get the little plasticky ones if you're going to be doing some mudding work. I'll tell you, I would go and invest in a decent blade, a decent mud sheetrock knife, mud knife, however you want to describe it. The reason for that is these can be used for a variety of different things, not just spreading and applying mud. One of the coolest thing with this is sometimes you need to use these to pick a door in a house. If one of the kids has locked a bedroom door, you can use a knife to get into it. I could show you that in a different video. So we want to mix it up and get it so it's a little bit kind of a little bit thinner. I'm going to just add a little bit more water to it. Now the thing with this is, it's very similar to cement, is that you add a little water, and a little water goes a long way in loosening it up. So we don't want to get too crazy with it. We're talking this little dab, maybe 2 tablespoons of water is all that's going to be needed to get this loosened up enough so it can go and be spread well on the wall and give you a nice smooth consistency. So we are pretty close to being able to go in mud. There we go. I think it's kind of pretty much like I like it. I'm going to clean the edges off and get everything kind of contained because I'm kind of making a mess. And then I'm going to be going to a smaller. I've actually got to go down to a 2-inch blade. This is a 6-inch that I'm using. This is my go-to with pretty much everything, but I'm going to have to go to a smaller blade for the mudding I'm doing today. But that's closer to the consistency of what we're looking for. That it's going to, maybe I could loosen it just a hair bit more, but it's pretty close for walls. If I was doing ceiling, this would be for surely good for ceiling. So just one thing to keep in mind, whether you're doing a bucket or anything and you're dealing with the mud, you've got to loosen it up. Sometimes if you're doing a big project, you'll just add water to the bucket and use a stir, an agitator that goes on your drill. But for small projects, a pan, add a little water, and you're good to go.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.